Hi, I'm Dr. Paul, and I wanted to go over with you some of the top things you can do right now to fight pain and inflammation. In this particular video, I want to show you a little bit more about plantar fasciitis, but it really applies to most types of acute pain. Um, there's two things that I want to look at, basically lifestyle and diet, and those are two things that are very potent because what you do on a daily basis is what usually causes inflammation. And so let's start off right now. Basically, the first thing is breathing. Why breathing? Because acetylcholine gets released when you do deep breathing, and that helps reduce inflammation. Modalities, I'm a chiropractor, and we do acupressure. I do kinesiotaping, and those are all maybe essential ingredients, including a trigger point work that helps to get rid of some of the shortness of the muscle and the spasm of the muscle and potential for old scarring, because particularly with the calf, sometimes the posterior muscle, the posterior calf muscle called the posterior tibialis gets shortened. So when you do this, when you sleep at night, it's common for when your foot lays down like this all night, it shortens that muscle. And in the morning, sometimes it's common with plantar fasciitis to wake up with pain, more pain, or it hurts when you walk more. So what you do is you stretch out that muscle and work on the trigger points that are on the posterior tibialis muscle as well as the plantar fascial muscles as well. So you have to look at a lot of different things with plantar fasciitis, but those are some top common muscles that I work on. The next thing that you want to consider also is rest, obviously. So you want to ice it as necessary. This is a big deal. Water, hydration, because when we're dehydrated, we don't get the minerals that we need, or we don't flush out toxins that we need to flush out. I find a lot of heavy metal toxicities in a majority, if not all, my patients, and if you're not well hydrated, that contributes to lack of transport of toxins, basically. If you have essential oils at home, I'm not an expert on essential oils, but there are essential oils that you could use for anti-pain. And we talked about stretching as well. So the next thing that you want to do, make sure with regard to stretching that you stretch both the calf muscle and the soleus muscle. Just look it up on Google and they'll show you how to do those type of stretches. With regard to diet, I just focus on whole. If you eat, God intended for you to eat whole foods, and when you eat processed foods, basically it's loaded with bad fat and bad sugar, and in excess. And so they usually combine the fat and the sugar together. I'm a snacky person, and I almost lost my gallbladder because of it, and I loved fried foods. But now I've replaced all my desires with good fat and good carbs. So a lot more vegetables, and honestly, I don't like vegetables too much, but when I add good dressing, like even a little bit good grass-fed butter, a Kerrygold butter, it makes the food pop out. And I love using pink sea salt and the one that's not toxic with nickel, and I love good herbs. And so when you put those things together, I really enjoy my vegetables. So most people are lacking in their vegetables, most people are lacking in their water. The next thing is make sure that you could do a complete protein, enough protein every day, at least half of your body weight in ounces of protein per day, in grams of protein per day. So for example, your body weight's 150, you do 75 grams of protein per day. Preferably, hormone-free hormone-free meat and dairy, because you don't want to add extra toxins to your body. Red meat can be a trigger for inflammation. Sugar can be a trigger, so you want to be careful on those amounts that you do. That includes flour and grain products. That says flour on the label. We talked about spices already. Ginger and garlic are one of the great anti-inflammatory spices. Calming teas, and excess weight, because if you've got too much weight on those heels, obviously that can put too much pressure, and until you lose the weight, it's gonna stay having stress on the heel. If you just follow the diet that I recommend today and just reduce carbs or avoid the processed foods, you'll start losing weight automatically. And then supplements that I would recommend from Designs for Health are Inflammatone. Curcumin RX is from Biotics, but basically it's a source of non-toxic curcumin. The things that you want to be careful of is getting fake brands that are on Amazon that could be potentially produced in China. There is possibility for that, but It could be expired products, but you want to get it from the source, either from a professional or directly from Designs for Health or Biotics. But usually you have to be patient to do that. Omega Avail, which is a good source of good oil. I recommend all three of those to reduce inflammation in the body. So for now, I look forward to seeing you on the next video. I'm Dr. Paul.